All right, it is 7 p.m. on July 28th. This is a special meeting of the Clayton City Council. I'll call it to order. First order of business is roll call.
Councilmember Diaz.
Present.
Vice Mayor Ania.
Here.
Mayor Juan.
Here.
Councilmember Trupiano.
I'm here.
Councilmember Tillman.
I'm here.
We have a quorum.
It's a little echoier today, isn't it?
Little echoey.
If that's a word. I don't know. It's fine. All right, we'll make do. All right, next, Pledge of Allegiance. Hold on a second. Good.
Thank you.
I pledge
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next is item 3, the consent calendar. Does anyone have anything that they would like to pull from the consent calendar? All right, seeing none. I do have one comment card for item 3A. Mr. Brand, if you would like to speak on item 3A. If you hit the button at the center that says on off, it'll turn on the mic.
I got it. How much time do I have?
You have 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Okay, I got 10 items. Got to cut out 7 of them. My name is Tom Brand. I'm one of Clayton's biggest supporter of its trails, but this is why Measure X, or whatever it's going to be called, is going to fail on November 3rd. After 10 years and $10 million in taxes under Measure H, our trails are in far worse condition now than they were at the beginning. And this is because almost none of that $10 million has been spent on trails. And you expect to collect another $15 million through a renewal? I don't think so. The council has ignored its own maintenance supervisor's report on trail maintenance. None of the recommendations were implemented. The council rejected a proposal by the city engineer for a condition assessment on trails. Obviously, the council does not even have an interest in how bad these trails are. Safety hazards are even ignored. Recommendations from the Trail and Landscape Committee Oversight Committee are completely ignored. This is because trails are considered a low priority. The prior Trails and Landscape Committee all resigned because they're fed up. I've resigned myself. There's not been an annual report posted since 2020. There's something wrong here. Briefly about the new tax measure. This is no longer a $10 million tax. It's a $15 million tax. And the council is going to keep doing what it's been doing in the past. It's going to ignore its trails. That's why it's going to fail. This measure starts out with a 10% increase, and there is no limit on annual increases after that. And lastly, and most important, has nothing to do with the trails itself. There's 3 tax measures going to be on the Clayton ballot. You were warned not to put even 2 on the ballot, and now there's a countywide tax as well. 3 tax measures. People are fed up, and they're not going to vote for it. Again, I want to conclude that I am a big supporter of Clayton Trails, and I will help, and I'll find plenty of volunteers to help me, but not under these conditions. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment on item 3? Do we have any comment online? All right, then I will close public comment. Next is back to council. If there was nothing pulled from the consent, so if anyone has any, if there's a motion for these
I
items.
move for approval of the consent calendar.
I'll second.
Would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Diaz.
Yes.
Councilmember Trupiano.
Yes.
Councilmember Tillman.
Aye.
Vice Mayor
Yes.
Ania. Mayor Juan.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
And just as a comment, if staff wanted to speak with Mr. Brand at some point to do that, that'd be great. I don't know if we want to do that right now or if you can do that. Okay, thank you. All right, next is item 4, reports. City manager's report, item A.
One quick item this evening, Mayor. Want to remind everybody, August 4th is National Night Out. We'll be hosting the event from 6 o'clock to 8 p.m. over here at City Hall in the grass area around the fountain, like we did last year. Police Department will be providing free food. We'll have booths from various partner agencies as well as the city. So please come out and enjoy talking to your police department, meeting some officers, and getting some food and drinks. That is it. So as that is happening on August 4th, there will not be a council meeting that evening. So that concludes my report.
Thank you. All right, next is item 5A. This is public hearings. Originally, this was the conducting the appeal and hearing and considering the adjudication of that appeal. However, I think upon staff's recommendation, we will be continuing this item, and then we will be re-noticing this appeal at a time when it is to be rescheduled. I'm not aware if we're required to take public comment on this, if we are continuing, but if you could let me know, then we can do that.
We had noted that we were just continuing the item without discussion. We felt it was appropriate to put it on the agenda so that the public was aware that we were continuing the item, but we will take discussion at a future date when we renotice the public hearing.
Okay, so no public comment?
Correct.
There is public comment.
I think our council is saying that we don't take public comment on this item, but on a future item where we do take public comment, no one is really limited to what they want to comment on. So.
Correct. If you are able to come back at a future meeting, the council is not going to be discussing the public hearing item. So if you can come back at a future agenda when it is renoticed, that would be our preference.
All right. Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am. I
So
have a
then-
notice that says that this meeting was going to occur today.
Correct. And if you look at the agenda for tonight, it says continued without discussion. The hearing will be renoticed when rescheduled.
But I didn't get a notice of that.
You are seeing it on the agenda. So
So-
if you can please reserve your comment for the future, that would be our preference.
Thank
Did
you.
not get a notice of it. I want that in the record.
Thank you. Noted that you were not noticed or you're not aware of any notice.
No, I did not get a notice.
Heard you.
Thank you. All right, item 6A. This is discussion and direction on whether the city council is in support of annexation or actually it does say or, but I believe it's supposed to say of property outside of the current city boundary. Mr. City Manager.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So this evening is a discussion and direction item for myself and staff to determine what the council's wishes are in the future. As you are aware, in 2007, the county adopted the county's urban limit line, which still stands today. Part of the requirement with that is so that we can get our Measure J return to source funding, that we have to establish that line. Measure A passed earlier this year, which is moving the urban limit line. We are determining if we have to bring back an item for that limit line or not. With that limit line adjustment, it has an effect on property that you can annex into the city. The purpose of tonight is not for anything current. What we want to know is there any appetite from this body at this time to explore annexation of any kind in any surrounding area within the city of Clayton's sphere of influence? Some of the constraints that we have at this time, as you're all aware, staffing is an issue. We have departments that are departments of one. To explore and do an annexation, we would have to do a study to determine what the project is, what the area available would be, what the cost to operate additional needs to the city. So I'm talking about police services, landscaping, maintenance, roads, sidewalks, streetlights, those ongoing costs that would cost money to explore those. We would need to hire consultants to do that work because we don't have the bandwidth internally in a department of one who's focused on other projects that are currently in process of happening. As we know, we have budget issues currently. We're pulling money out of reserves for our general fund support to continue just general operations. It would require more money to come out of our reserves to take these efforts on. So with some of that background and information, and there's more information that was included in the staff report, what I'm looking for is direction from the council. Do we want to explore annexation? Is there a reason to do that now, or are we content at this time? I will note this is direction for current time. Future councils can change their mind if they want to explore annexation, if we have the ability to do that, if there's changes in the future financially with staff, with the ability to do so. This is not a binding decision that once and for all, we're never allowed to change this direction. This is for time and place direction. So this could change a year from now, 6 months from now, whenever, if whatever that council makeup in place was and wanted to do that. So with that, I'll turn it back to the mayor for questions, concerns.
But there was, you didn't go so far as to make a recommendation? Just,
My recommendation would be not at this time to explore annexation for the reasons that I provided because of limit in staff, finances, and the ability to kind of run with the project. Like I mentioned, we have several projects kind of in various stages here that's monopolizing the majority of time of our development services staff.
okay, excellent. All right, questions for
Yes.
staff?
A couple of questions. First of all, this is not city or staff driven or council driven, the request to annex, correct?
For this action, we just want to know, does the council want to explore annexation?
Okay, let me back up further then.
Okay.
Isn't there another move outside of the city that wants to do an annexation? And what I'm leading up to, since there's a cost element in all this, why can't the cost be borne by the person that really is driving this?
Well, this decision is not based on a specific project or query by anybody, any outside agency at this time.
So this is city initiated.
Correct.
So, yeah, I think the way that I interpret this is that staff is asking council for guidance in a general manner to what the council's interest is. There is other activity, and it's unrelated to what staff is asking for. Staff is essentially asking, hey, is this something that you're interested in generally? And if we are, then we need to provide that direction because of trade-offs and constraints. So I think that the city manager's recommendation that they are not interested right now, but they want to make sure that they're aligned with what council is actually interested in. So they're trying to get formal feedback as to that. So.
But it is clear that this is not a council-driven or a staff-driven, other than the fact that it's emanating from your office to request us to give an opinion on whether we should pursue it or not. Because the only thing I keep harking back to is that we did have an issue not too long ago where someone went to the LAFCO organization and tried to initiate a annex process, and it should have come from a legislative body, not a developer. So
You are correct.
Yeah. So what I'm leading to again is obviously there is going to be a financial implication to this. Why can't the developer, the initiator, if we wanted to consider it, bear the cost on that?
Well, yeah, I think That's probably a reasonable outcome, but it is, the first step would be, or is it something that we are interested
Right.
in? If that's like a threshold question, so if we are not, then all the other subsequent stuff then just doesn't happen at all. If we are, then you have to like figure out all the logistics of what city manager described in terms of costs and activities and whatnot.
Well, then I ask, my final question is, why was it brought up now if it's not even feasible at this point? And that you, as you stated, that it could be held over to a future council after, because it sounds like to me, this decision point is not going to happen until after the end of this calendar year. Is that what you're recommending?
Well, the decision you would make tonight, the direction you would provide me tonight would take effect immediately. If there was something in the future, a project, a council-driven idea or desire to annex property in some form or fashion that falls within the sphere of influence, that would be another council action at that time with different direction. Yes.
Any other questions for staff?
Yeah, so just hearing this back and forth, can you explain if it's in the future how that works? So you said earlier that we're not bound, a future council could decide that they want to. How does that look and how does that work?
That could happen in a number of ways. It could be the council's desire to request, change this direction, and ask staff to explore opportunities. And that could be opportunities with or without a developer in mind. It could be county-owned property that we want to try to annex into the city limit, into our sphere of influence for a specific reason or desire by the council. It could be for commercial, it could be for residential, it could be for kind of anything, if it meets all the parameters. And then we would be the applicant at LAFCO going through that process, determining how we get water, sewer, all of those things. So it could be driven from that way. It could come from interest from a developer, commercial, residential, who comes in and says, we want to build, here's a plan, what do you think? We would bring that to council, but we would have to do our due diligence to determine what's the effect on the city, right? What's the size and scope of said project and land area? And again, water, sewer, fire protection district, all of the different agencies that we are partners with in operating our city would have to be included in that analysis. And at that time, we would then ask, number one, is the council interested in exploring this? And we would try to determine the base cost to do that. Would that be passed on to a developer? Could.
Okay. Okay. And does this action tonight or this direction tonight exclude any projects from happening in the future? Should we decide to go that route?
No.
Okay, thank you.
If I may ask a follow-up question, you mentioned the urban limit line. In my mind, the only thing that comes into mind is the beyond the limit of Clayton at Marsh Creek and going beyond into the county area. Is there another way to annex property that I'm not aware of? Like, for example, on Kirker Pass going towards Pittsburgh?
We've looked at some maps, and there are some small pieces, yes, that would be, I would consider them infill projects if we wanted to. There's not big swaths of land in that
Right.
area to say we want to bring in 500 homes, and I'm not recommending we bring in 500 homes, so let's get that clear.
Make sure you clip that audio.
Yes.
Okay, any other questions for staff? Public comment. Item 6A. Seeing none. Any public comment online?
There is no public comment online.
Okay, then I will close public comment on this item. Any further discussion at council that you would like to have? I think given the constraints, it's not something that we would pursue in the immediate future. So this gives clarity to staff around what they should be focused on and what their priorities should be. So to me, it's pretty straightforward. Does anyone have any?
No, and I think we've got, there's financial constraints, there's timing, there's staffing, there's lots of things to consider. So I think it would have to be, unless something desirable comes before us at a future date at this time, we just don't have the resources.
Yep, I agree. All right, then I think do you need a motion, or would you just like informal direction? Is there a motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion that we accept the staff's recommendation of not pursuing any annexation investigations at this time.
I'll second it.
All right, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Diaz,
Yeah, I'm still having difficulty wondering why it even came on the agenda, but I will accept that it is, so I vote yes.
Councilmember Trupiano,
Yes.
Councilmember Tillman,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Ania.
Yes.
Mayor Wan.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. All right, that concludes item 6A. Next is item 7, adjournment. It is 7:21. Our next regularly scheduled council meeting is the third Tuesday in August, the 18th.
August 18th.
I wasn't going to guess at the date. So, thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Dennis, meet again. Yeah. Okay, I'm glad you came over here. There's history on this trail stuff that obviously we don't have. Priority is on cutting weeds, and I'm sure you already know that.